So hey guys, I'll be the one to say it. A lot of the new decks we've been getting, they are just simply pretty boring, and they're not doing much of anything. So if we go look at Fiendsmith and the Fiendsmith stuff, the most exciting thing you can do with Fiendsmith, like genuinely, is to essentially go through the line and then go into Lacrima and then Lacrima, bring back Guy, make Beatrice, and that's about it. And then you can maybe show off your unique Beatrice line with Fiendsmith. But this isn't even that consistent because, you know, cracked, not a one-card combo. The only thing that's a one-card combo here is Engraver, and Engraver might not necessarily even be a one-card combo in the sense that maybe your deck requires also another starter, which is fine. You know, it's a two-card combo then in that case, which is still just okay. Keeping in mind that we have these two cards here for going first that you could technically be playing is Soul Day. This card might as well read. If you resolve this card, you can do whatever you want, just straight up. We want to resolve Exodia. Yeah, Soul Day. It probably gets into that eventually. Do we want to resolve maybe this card? Let's see. Ghost Rick, Angel of Mischief. Yeah. If we start a Soul Day, I'm pretty sure we can get that too. Do we perhaps want to, I don't know, loop? Let's see, what's it called again? The level 2 insect, that foolish extra foolish burials monster from your extra deck, just over and over again. You can set that up with Isolde, Two Tales of the Noble Knights, just whatever. If you want just to do a foolish burial for whatever reason, I'm pretty sure you could use Isolde for that too, because why not? And then, you know, maybe if you're not feeling this flavor of FTK, essentially, I guess, yeah, we could also start with, you know, some super heavy samurai cards. And there are a lot more starters than the Fiendsmith ones. You know, start Wakushi. This can do pretty much everything Isolde can. So yeah, these cards read, you can do whatever you want, really. If we start Isolde, would you be surprised if I could end on like 3 Arise Heart? Like, come on, it's Isolde. And wouldn't be surprised if you could also do the same with Super Heavy Samurai. Like, yeah. Wouldn't be surprised that you'd be able to do so. And then we also have, as well as these guys, we have this, which can probably just go into just about anything, you know, just same kind of thing. Start with Plant, Orifice, Scorpio, and there's genuinely just quite a few ways to get into this. So yeah, Orifice Scorpio effect, then you can go ahead and just resolve any kind of FTK you want, really. Yep. Not sure the exact route, but I'm 99% sure with Orifice Scorpio you can find a way. And then what else do we have? Oh, of course, Ostinato. If we resolve Ostinato, pretty sure this can also be an FTK in some way, shape, or form. It gets there for sure. And Ostinato does not lock you for some reason, so yeah, it definitely gets there. So yeah, a lot more interesting than Fiendsmith, and genuinely just FTKs, really, pretty much. And speaking of FTKs, you know, this also exists. I mean, it's not like that strong. I mean, it's at least viable, which is nice. But yeah, not really too much to say about Gimmick Puppet. I guess. Do I actually have the cards to play this? Yeah, for the most part, actually. Oh, this deck isn't that expensive at all. Alright. But, yeah. There's just a billion different FTKs you can do. Like, just straight up. There are a lot. The number is not small. It's more to do with, like, how efficient these FTKs are actually to do, but, yeah. In terms of just dumb things you can do, these cards enable a lot of dumb things. We'll just leave it at that. But yeah, for the most part, with all of the new releases, I haven't really found anything super interesting recently. So uh, let's see what released recently. So we had Fiendsmith, big letdown. It doesn't really do anything. Maybe if they get their support, I'll feel something again. And then Millennium. These guys kind of have a really bad restriction, so they're not really easy to play with. So that's unfortunate, I suppose. We have a Royal Gold Sark. Huh. Can't think of a single good deck that plays this. No wonder I forgot. Alright. And then we also have, if I recall correctly, we had something else new released recently, didn't we? What was it? We have Millennium, we have Fiendsmith, we had Snake Eye, kind of recently-ish. Well, it's recent-ish in my head. It's kind of newer-ish, I suppose. Let's just sort by SRs. Maybe that'll help. Fiendsmith. Oh, right. I remember what the other deck I wanted to talk about was. Uh, well, I remember in concept. I can't even remember the name. That's a struggle. Um, Farudris? What? What archetype is this guy from again? No, not Farudris. The dragon that pops the field spell as a quick effect. That whatever that archetype is, that was also a letdown. It doesn't really do anything. So yeah, you know it's bad when I genuinely can't remember the archetype's name. Shouldn't I have it somewhere here? As a Mina. Oh, Ashened, right? Yeah, Ashened. That was a letdown. None of these cards really do anything. Another letdown here. And then Centurion was like, okay, White Forest. Like, I mean, White Forest is only starting to do things like right now, in my opinion. Before they got LZ, it didn't really feel like that gassed up. Like, you would end up seeing, like, Set 5 Pass a lot, and all 5 of those back row would be dead. It's actually kind of depressing. And then, of course, we had Tenpai, which Tenpai wasn't even that strong. You didn't have to hard tech against it or anything. It was just whatever. Ritual Beast. Honestly, this deck is hella annoying because there's no like super obvious choke point in the same way like Yubel has. Well, yeah, no obvious, super obvious choke points because you know there's certain extenders if they just randomly opened, the choke point changes and you would be better off holding like your imperm for literally next turn, which is unfortunate, I suppose. But it is what it is, and that's how the deck functions, I suppose. So, yeah. Nothing super interesting about that. And then, did I get an extra copy of Sun Saga? Oh. Okay, and then we have Raid Raptor support, which, I mean, no one's really playing this because, you know, Underworld Goddess is still a card. And, yeah. The, the thing that this deck does best is literally spam out Kali Yuga. So none of the support really changes anything regarding that, I don't think, so yeah, that's whatever. Yubel. This interesting, does the same combo every single time like Snake Eye. Nothing like has a super interesting playstyle. Or yeah, nothing appeals to me, I guess, either. So that's one way to look at it. In terms of decks for this year, I think my favorite would probably be Memento, I think, out of all the new archetypes that were released, I think, this year. Uh, well, I might be misremembering and thinking something was released the year before ish. So, in terms of year, though, I'm referring to not the actual calendar year, more like the year where we Master Duel was released, I guess. So, if we're going from any to any, right? So, 365 days between each any, right? I suppose. So, Memento, probably my favorite new deck out of all the ones that released this year. I think it was released this year at least. And yeah, that's probably about it. Not a lot of things were that playable from what I remember being released. That or they just weren't that interesting, like Voiceless Voice. I'm more interested in like more flexible combos and having certain options that, well, just flexible options in a lot of different scenarios. And there weren't a lot of decks that had that. Like Tempai, you have a lot of restraints as well, and how the deck is kind of like being played, and how it has to kind of be played somewhat. So one of the big restraints on Tempai is just the Dragon Lock, I suppose. Aside from that, it's not that big of a deal. And then Fiendsmith is just kind of just mid right now, honestly. Like until they get their support, it's just mid, incredibly mid. Memento, I'm pretty sure that these guys will get support later, but yeah, Memento. I had some fun with Memento. It's not really an unfair deck or anything. It's not like that's wrong, but what it does is pretty respectable, I suppose. And the way it gets there, yeah, yeah, it's like a 25-step combo or something dumb, which is just not the best, and it's very not like new player friendly because did you mess up on step 17 or 16 out of like 25? Damn, you lost like 2 negates or whatever. Great. That's how Memento feels to an extent. And also, unironically, even if I'm playing at the fastest I can play, it still takes like way too long to resolve the Memento combo, which is just, yeah, that's really unfortunate in how Memento plays. Memento kind of has to cycle through like the five guys that you need to shuffle back for the Tikutlika combined creation, which is, yeah, very very unfortunate. We'll put it that way. So that kind of sucks. And Vanquish Soul, I don't think was released that recently, but I mean, yeah, Vanquish Soul is like kind of a fun deck to play, but it's just kind of ass. So yeah, would be nice to have certain decks just be a little bit better, I guess, to some extent. But yeah, I guess it is what it is. In terms of decks this year, did I even build like that many new decks? Well, let's try to check for any new decks here. Pain Legal, nope. Knight, nope. Paleo. This is an old deck I built this year, so I wouldn't count that really. Unchained, kind of the same deal as Paleo, really. Work in progress. This uses older cards too. Ninja, that's old. Yeah, I don't see a single like. Oh, Altarguy's my Memento. Huh. I don't know when I last edited all of these decks. I think I had to edit them for like the ban list or something, so I'm not even sure if Memento was released like this year anymore. But yeah, all of these decks are basically old. I don't think I see a single deck here with a newer archetype in it. These are all older decks that I just happened to build, right? Like even this Live Twins Right deck, I think I'm probably going to delete this at some point because it's just mid. I mean that list's okay, but eh, I don't feel like optimizing it. So yeah, that list is not new. I can't see a single new archetype from like this year that I actually built a deck around and kept it around. So yeah, nothing actually interesting coming out this year. I don't think. No wonder I'm feeling kind of like bored with Master Duel in a sense. I mean, I'm still able to do some like deck building and experimentation and all that type of stuff. Looking for tech, but like the actual gameplay, it's kind of like a little bit staling. It's just the same thing over and over again, and I mean, I just don't feel like I really have good options for just playing the game at all, right? Hmm. Yeah. Can't really think of a single fun deck to play. Like Danger Dark World is kind of a drag too to play to an extent because I mean the games take quite a while or they're way too short. There really isn't a middle ground with that. It kind of is a solitaire deck. And I mean, the RNG on that deck can be pretty brutal when I have really bad luck. So, yep. Even if I play optimal, bad luck is bad luck. So, yeah, that's kind of how that goes. I mean, maybe I try play Chimera at some point, right? Do I? I mean, the only Ultra I need is just these two, right? I mean, that's kind of reasonable-ish. I think I built, like, maybe Watt, just for fun. Is it wasn't that expensive? I just happened to pull the cards, I guess. That might have happened at some point. But, yeah, that deck was really bad. Not really going to keep that around. The funny thing was, I'm pretty sure it was released in the uh, exact same selection as Tenpai, I think, or really close to it. So, hmm, not feeling really viable, huh? All right. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. And I mean, genuinely can't think of a deck I really super enjoyed playing like this year in general. I've mostly just been playing the same decks, which I mean, playing the same decks isn't that bad, but with all of the new cards that are released within the year, I don't know, just none of them mesh well with me, I suppose. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.